This journey of quote quote prayer, it's a journey. It's not linear, but more like a holistic dimension. So go deeper and deeper. You understand, for example, deeper aspect of wisdom, the wisdom of emptiness. You started to have a glimpse into the wisdom of emptiness. Then you can appreciate more the depth of the prayer itself. Like that, it's evolving. So whatever way you can relate to, and just honor that. It's also coming from the idea we are already whole, but we have a little dust off. Mm. Prayer become one of the ways, beautiful and profound way to unveil and who and what you are. It's a tool in a sense. What happened is this is a tool, but sometimes in a tradition, over the course of long history of Buddhist tradition, it became solidified, and the tool became a thing, actual thing itself. That's one of the things we need to be aware of in the West. We are quite intelligent in that sense. We need to know how it works and how this means. So it's nice to keep in mind. Yeah, this is one of the tools. Anyway, I would like to share one beautiful song. When we read the traditional text or sadhana or practice text, I mean, just reading itself doesn't give you this flavor. In Sanskrit called rasa or flavor or taste, like ice cream has different flavors, right? Like that. Same way, each practice has its own taste, or that each deity implied or express some kind of flavor. And also practice of each deity, individual different deities, is suitable for the different practitioners who have a different inclination or disposition. That's one of the things. We have to start to have a taste through our own practice, putting into practice, and then started to have a taste of that specific deity, get used to it, accustomed to the practice, as well as get to know her or him or it very well. One way to really get to connect to that flavor is this kind of aspiration prayers or poems, which was composed by the practitioner of the specific deities. In this case, Vajrayogini. Vajrayogini practitioner has their own kind of dispositions, incarnations. We can feel it. We can feel, taste it by reading or studying this kind of aspiration prayer. Today, I'm introducing this prayer to behold the beautiful or lovely face of Vajrayogini, whatever that means. We will go deeper. So these flavors, maybe you will get it by reading his composed by this very famous Sakya, the master called Sarchen Rosel Gyatso. Sarchen's prayers, prayer to behold the Dakini's lovely face. Although, as if this is just like waiting for red to make it ready to come at the door of your meditation cave or something like waiting, and when is she gonna come here? Then finally I was able to see her. It's nothing like that. It has so many dimensions of what this means, face to face, meeting the, or sometimes translate kissing. Same word, meet Vajrayogini face to face, means kiss Vajrayogini. Ultimate or the sacred or the most subtle dimension of Vajrayogini is this innate mind called clear light, inseparability of bliss and emptiness. That's the one we want to meet ultimately. Then the external expressions. Vajrayogini appeared in this Nirmanakaya, specific forms. Then he describes his longing, yawning, then this awe and wonder of having met her. Vajrayogini practitioners have this kind of flavor of intense yearning and desire. Like when we read the Rumi or the Sufi or Christian mystics, we feel kind of, I can relate to, kind of, we have some kind of nyuwa, means experience in our heart, right? Some people may not move, but some sort of similar kind of longing, yearning for the divine. This prayer has that kind of flavor. I don't know if you will taste or not. Shall we dive into this? So this is the Monram. Monram prayers means aspiration. Monram aspiration prayers composed by Tarchen. Just a little bit of background. Vajrayogini appeared directly, either vision or appearances or dream or whatever might be, in front of him when he was practicing in a certain place in Tibet. Then extemporaneously, he recited these 8 verses. So there's 8 verses to her. Then because of these extraordinary circumstances in which the prayer came to be, it is extremely holy and has great blessings. Connection to this kind of prayers or the appreciation for this prayer of the longing to Vajrayogini is very special. Also melody. This goes with very special melody, came from Dakinis. So melody and rhythm come from hearing Dakinis. This practitioner, Tarchen, heard this melody. Dakini was singing. As they are singing holy Dharma songs, many great lamas experience visions in which they heard Dakinis singing. Later, they teach us what they heard, and it became a special chanting style. That's why learning melody, traditional melody, is so important. Each paragraph kind of packed with the deeper meaning, figurative meaning, and also descriptive meaning, both. I think I'm not gonna explain too much. We're just gonna read here, then what kind of rasa and flavors you can get from this. By the way, the reason I'm doing this is also I'm anticipating the future, near future journey, Dakini journey. It's called Kechara journey, about the Vajrayogini paradise journey to the Vajrayogini paradise. So it's nice to get the flavor. If we see if we can have a connect to this kind of deep longing, this spiritual yearning, like I feel something I want to connect. I want to get it. So that sort of longing is a very good quality of the Vajrayogini practitioners. Despite the endless search for you, noble lady, I found no certainty of your true existence. He searched, he wanted this longing, he couldn't help but longing. Entire life he put in practice, Vajrayogin practice, to meet her. Then he came here. But at last, my mind youth, weary of its fantasies, found relief in a forest hut of the inexpressible. So this one, all figurative and also descriptive. The forest hut of the inexpressible. This refers to the emptiness, realization, direct realization of emptiness. He come to realize her true nature. Bliss and emptiness. Bliss has some wisdom at emptiness. And then emptiness has the kind of flavor of bliss. In tantric practice, we use bliss as a method to realize emptiness. Realize the non-duality, inseparability of bliss and emptiness. That's more accurate to say. When we say the C Vajrayogini, it's all about purification of your awareness, no? Unveiling. Then you can see. If your mind is pure, you can see everything pure. Once your mind purified, then all appears as a pure form, Vajrayogini, dark and Dakini. Now, some kind of meaning, at least literal meaning, I want to recite with you, with this Dakini's melody. Let's bring at this tactile sensation or the somatic sensation. See if your heart chakras opens. Doki chita tseruya apamakyo denbaru tu penye pamanye tobe tobe semaki ishonute joteru na ki kambu ngesoten. So now for a few minutes, I want you to rest in an ineffable heart, exhausted by this elaboration, concept, trying to search for divine. See if we can find this true existence of the divine. If you cannot find it, you rest in that unfindability, truth of that. So Tsalchen, this great master of Vajrayogini practice, reached her, who has arrived and touched her. Composing these prayers of longing actually helps us to reach her as well in the same way. Not by looking at the obvious place, by looking at the thin place or gap, place where we usually miss. That's the place where she lives. She hides. If we have a rigid idea about what Dakini looks like, or Dakini should be this way or that way, then we never find her. So just relax in the forest hut of ineffable. And this is blissful. Every atom holds this bliss, carved in the unborn mark of emptiness. Everything has a quality of bliss with unborn mark of emptiness. So this is one kind of prayers which sincere practitioners makes. This is also asking for blessing. What's your experience of this prayer? How can you relate to this kind of prayers? How is your heart chakra doing right now? I know you are resting in the ineffable forest, but
For me, Kandrila, these prayers are prayers to magnify that cause and condition towards me that brings me to the experience, the direct experience of the Dakini within and the ferocity. With Vajrayogini, I feel her ferocity and I feel her capacity to just cut through those dramas of life. I feel her support tremendously in these prayers.
I felt very moved, just feeling right now a lot of tears in that journey, that movement of that exhaustion of the desire and the just deep rest in clear light and that bliss and emptiness and that union and that desire that you really spoke of. So in that last melody, it was just so, I just feel very, very moved. And when you were reading the prayer previously, felt much more of that flavor of both strength and power and longing. And I just felt my heart, and I feel it right now as I just go back into it, just this quality of vastness and openness. And I just, it was beautiful.
material cause and then conditions. So this longing and asking for blessing is a condition. We need that to cause material cause to ripen. Whatever way you experience, maybe warmth or the softness or the tenderness of your heart. So that become conditions for material cause to ripen and bring to the resultant state. So you honor that.
I just felt kind of blissful, very relaxed and blissful.
Yeah.
So it was good for me. Thank you.
Yeah, whenever you feel graceful, look at that. See if you can see the empty nature of everything. That's the opportunity. I was talking about use breath to look at the emptiness, empty nature of it. Let's sit together to see if we can make this whatever we experienced, whatever here, to be a prayer in your life and make your life prayer itself. No complication, just rest in ineffable forest hut of your direct experience.